Hi, my name's Alan Friesen. I've been an instructor of the Canadian Firearms Safety course for a long time. And there's a portion of the course where it talks about social responsibilities. And I think to summarize that whole area of the course, really you can say that firearms demand the utmost attention and respect. That's kind of how you can summarize that area. One of the first times I taught that course, there was an RCMP officer who was one of the students. And so he asked at that point to share a story. And he did, and I've used that in my classes ever since. Basically, the story involves he had to go and see this young woman in the hospital, Alice, who had just delivered a child a few hours before. And he had to go and say, Alice, I'm sorry to inform you that your husband Joe has passed away. And Alice, of course, was very distraught and didn't want to believe that message, of course. So Alice was demanding that the officer provide more details. Well, what happened? How did this occur? He was just here a couple hours ago when I gave birth to this child, brought his son into the world. So the officer had to go and explain it to Alice. So what had happened was that Joe had went home. They had a little farm is where they lived. Went home to this little farm after him and his buddy Tom had been drinking a fair bit. And they go home. He gets this handgun that he bought just recently, wasn't very familiar with it, and they were going to go out behind the barn and shoot some pop cans. So they go and they shoot the cans behind the popcorn, the pop cans behind the barn. There's what I'm trying to say. They go and do that, and apparently that works out okay. Then they go back into the house, and they go into the house with this loaded gun and sit at this kitchen table, at Joe's kitchen table. Now, the firearm they're using is like this one here. It's got a grip safety here, so the web of your hand has to be right tight against there to shoot the gun. So, this gun is empty, has no firing pin. Don't do what I'm going to be doing with it for this little demonstration, okay? So he holds it in a weak grip, and he points it at the fridge, and goes to fire it, and it doesn't fire, and I guess they thought that was pretty humorous. Then he points it at his buddy Tom, holds it in this weak grip, press the trigger, doesn't fire, and so I guess, again, that's fairly humorous. Then what happens, he brings the gun back this way, and as he does, he changes his grip a little bit, doesn't realize that he's disengaged the safety. Drops the hammer, kills himself right at their kitchen table. So a very, very sad story. I would not want to have been that police officer have to do that. But the long and the short of it is that firearms demand your utmost attention and respect. Thank you.